Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Florida Man the Gamer, and this is going to be part 2 of the LSPDFR install for Grand Theft Auto 5. I got a whole bunch of mods lined up for us to install, so that way you guys can see how it's done and follow along on your own. We'll see if we can get through them all, but I have about 15 game mods set up, so I'm still not installing any cars or really any uniforms other than the uniform pack that I installed in part 1. These are going to just be game mods for the way the game is going to act, and we'll customize them a little bit as we go. So let's get started here with one of the best ones out there, in my opinion, that just about everybody uses, and it controls so much of the game and the different things you can do. It's called Stop the Ped. So we're going to go down, and we're going to go down here, and we're going to click Install. And of course, we get the pop-up, and click Install again. And we're going to put this, just like all of the others in the first video, it's going to go in my D drive because that's where I save everything. Program files, Steam apps, common, Grand Theft Auto 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that. And then just like with everything else, there's going to be a Readme file in there for the most part, and we'll be able to follow that to get the install done correctly. Alright, so that's done. So let's open Stop the Ped. Let's open the Readme. Readme, we're going to go down to Installation. So we're going to copy the contents of plugins LSPDFR into plugins LSPDFR. So we're going to go plugins LSPDFR over here, and then we're going to go over here to our main game file, plugins LSPDFR, and then we're going to copy and pull all of it over. And now I'm going to open Stop the Ped because I want to go ahead and I want to make some customizations. So let's see what we have here. So we can do like the main key, which is E on the keyboard. You can move through them. You can actually set some up for my Xbox controller to do different things. Okay, let's see here. And here it is right here, D-pad right. That's what opens, that's what I use. I use my controller to operate Stop the Ped, so I use D-pad right to bring it up and open it. You can change the parameters of everything in here. Again, be careful with what you mess with. You don't want to go too crazy with some different things because you could really mess up the modification, really mess up the game. Have to erase everything and start from scratch, kind of like I'm doing here. I don't think there's anything in this one that I customize. And at the end of this video, I'll go over, I'll try to run through everything again as far as what we have, and I will put the name of all of the modifications we're installing in the description of this. And if I remember and I don't erase everything, I'll put links to everything in there also. Alright, so Stop the Ped is in there. I'm going to continue with this same creator, and I'm going to install Compulite. It's a computer system to write the tickets and issue charges within the game. I've tried a bunch of them. I've tried Compulite. I think there's like one other one too. But Compulite is the one that I chose that I like the best. Just going to download, get this nice little pop-up. Download. It's going to go in the same place again, Grand Theft Auto folder. I'm going to open it. Readme should be the same as the last one because typically when you have a creator and you do a bunch of downloads by the same creators, the installs work the exact same way. So let's see. Yep, plugins LSPDFR, plugins LSPDFR, and then I can work the ini file. Okay, so plugins LSPDFR, plugins LSPDFR. Drag Compulite over here. We're going to open Compulite. D-right pad opens up Compulite in there. Okay, and that reminds me, I'm glad I did this while you guys are watching, because you can see right here, D-pad right opens Compulite. And if you remember the one we just did, stop the ped, I have it as D-pad right, open stop the ped. So we have an issue there. So we have to fix that. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to fix stop the ped to D-pad left. File save. Back out of there. Back out of there. The next one by him that I'm going to be using is Speed Radar Lite. I use this when I want to run traffic, when I want to catch speeders, typically when I'm running highway patrol. So let's go ahead and let's install this one. Get that nice little pop-up because the website he uses. Save. And it should be the same. Installation is the same. So plugins, LSPDFR, plugins, LSPDFR. Copy and bring stuff over. And then I always like to open this up so I can check everything. So I leave this set the way it is, which the toggle key is the letter I on the keyboard. But you also have the toggle modifier key, which is the left control key on the keyboard. So you have to do control I. It has to be the left control. And then you have page up and the page down buttons to increase or decrease the speed that you want to set for the speed limit on that road. And it does come set at 70 miles per hour, and you can adjust that up and down based on what you want to catch people. Okay, so we're done there. And then the last one we're going to be doing by him is Ultimate Backup. And then after we get done all of these, we'll go in and we'll open up the game and I'll show you how some of them work. Installation is the same, and I'm going to pull Rage Native over this time also. And you saw here, there with that, when I pulled that over, it had to replace some files because it's just adding different layers to different things. So let's check Ultimate Backup. So here you can see the keyboard shortcut for the panic button that I talked about on my last video with Police Smart Radio is 0 on the number pad if you have a number pad on your keyboard. And you can also use the right control key. So it'd be right control and 0. You can actually just remove that also. You can just type none in there if you want, and it would just be the number pad 0. You can change some of the parameters. You can change what's responding. Like here, if you're going to do a felony stop, you can change the number. The default is 3. You can change the number if you want there. We're going to leave that at that. Alright, now let's back out of there. Hit the refresh button. Now let's start going through and installing a bunch of the other ones. So we're going to install now Alpr, Automated License Plate Reader. I like that one because it can drive around with that on. That checks license plates in the areas. I don't have to run the plates of everybody. If I turn it on, it will automatically run license plates of every car that I pass. And it'll let me know if somebody doesn't have insurance, doesn't have registration, if they have warrants, any of that stuff. So we're going to do agree and download. We're going to do the zip file. I believe this is an auto install. We'll see here in a second. So Alpr plus. So here is the automatic install. Here's the manual install. So we do copy DLL and any files into the plugins folder. And then the stealth file in there. I like to do the manual. So stealth goes into here. And then we go plugins, LSPDFR, any, and DLL. And then here's how you can actually change how you start it. This runs F8. I have been using the letter U to turn it on. I think that's what I've been using. That's what we're going to use. And then we just got to save that. And that one's good. You're going to have a ton of keys on your keyboard that are going to have different things. You're just going to have to figure out what are vacant keys that you can kind of program some stuff into. Then it's just a matter of remembering what key does what. Okay, so now we're going to go in. Let me back out of that one so that way I have the link to it for you guys. We're going to do assorted callouts. These are different types of calls that you can get in the game. So you can do bank heists, store robberies, and a bunch. So they got petrol gas theft, bank heist, traffic stop backup, stolen police vehicle, person with a knife, solicitation, street racing, illegal immigrants in a truck, robberies, shoplifting, prisoner transport required, hot pursuit, and they're constantly updating a bunch of these. And we're going to take the most recent one, which again, typically with these, read them, but it's typically the bottom one. That's going to be the most recent. Sort of callouts, documentation, open the Readme. So you install Rage, yep. So we need to drag the downloads Grand Theft Auto 5 folder into the Grand Theft Auto 5 folder. Merge all files. Okay. So basically I'm taking this Grand Theft Auto file folder and I'm just pulling everything over here in. And then that'll do everything that it wants to do. We got to replace the files because we're updating some different things in there. Okay, so that one's in. Code 3 callouts. Again, more callouts, different types of calls. Let me see if he says what they have. No, there's no list here. There might be a list, I'm just missing it. 10 different callout situations. Okay, so let's go download this file. Let's do the manual install. I don't really say one way or the other whether you should do manual or automatic install. That's totally up to you. I like to do the manual installs. So the README texts. I don't want to do the manual. Stealth into the main. Code 3 callouts, DL and any into plugins. Okay, so code 3 plugins. LSPDFR, the DLL, and any. And then here, if you see here, I have my, you can put my thing in again. So I can go 7, David 13, because that's what I use. File save. Okay, so I did that part. This is just the one I just did there. So I need to copy the code 3 audio folder into LSPDFR police scanner. LSPDFR. Bring police scanner over. And then do not load it with that. Stealth common goes into the regular. For an update, rage. For an update. Alright, so now we're going to do Immersive Dispatch. I really like Immersive Dispatch because they check on you as they typically would in real life, and you'll get a bunch of different things with it. You'll get a bunch of different options and different ways to actually call for backup, call for tow trucks, call for EMS, put yourself available, put yourself out of service, all kinds of different things. It's definitely one of my favorite, and I've noticed a lot of other players here on YouTube, they run the same one. And if you look here, they have it right here on the front page. Functionality can be accessed through menu default L. So, if you're using the keyboard for it, the letter L will open this one up and start Immersive Dispatch for you. So do the readme text, drag and drop the contents of the folder into the main directory. And the settings will be in the ini. So go plugins, LSPDFR. What did I just install? Immersive Dispatch. Where's my ini folder for Immersive Dispatch? OP. There we go. 10.4 beep. Gotta find my ini file. Not seeing the ini file here. Settings are located in plugins, LSPR, which will be created after running it the first time. So we have to go into the game, and I will have to run the game first to allow this to operate, and then I'll be able to come back out, and then I'll be able to edit the different settings and everything within the ini. So I'll do officer checks, panic button, call signs. So here's some of the things that you can do inside this one. You could do the signal 100, which is priority, signal 60 drug case. You can clear last call for code 4, code 5 felony stop, code 6 investigation, 10.1 suspect lost, 10.2 radio check, 10.4 is your acknowledgement, 10.5 is meal break, 10.6 is your busy, 10.11 is traffic stop, and so on and so on and so on. You can go through and you can see all of these different things. You can call backup through it here, so you can do code 2 state, code 3 state. Air overwatch, you have to add that. That's a separate one, but you can still call in backup as far as helicopter backup goes. Through ultimate backup, you'll get the female, you'll get the canine. You can do pursuit through the air, animal control. You can take yourself out of service. You can call tow truck, EMS, fire, all kinds of different things through here. It really is a good mod for the game. One of my favorites. Right. So let's move on to Police Smart Radio Extension. In the last video, we did the Police Smart Radio. So now we're going to do the Police Smart Radio Extension, where they add a couple more buttons and options for you. So let's do the Readme Installation. Put all files from the drop GTA folder into the GTA root location. Configure the ini file. So we're going to open this, and grab these two, and pull them over. Plugins, Police Smart Radio Extension, and here we go. So I got to change that again. So I'm 7 David 13. Save that, and then back out. And you can see how I'm actually customizing these mods within the customization of the game. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Regular callouts. So what do we have here? Missing person, parking in a no parking zone, noise disturbance, fake calls, major accidents on the highway, search warrants, domestics, parked car accidents, animals, tree falling on the street, suspicious vehicle, barricaded suspect. The barricaded suspect is fun. You get there and there's a bunch of options that you can do, and you kind of determine the way that call ends. Broken vehicle, homicide, scammer, abandoned vehicle, bomb near the train tracks, stolen diplomat car. This is definitely one of the good call out ones. So as you guys can see so far, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward as far as installing all of these mods to be able to run the game the way you want to be. The complicated part comes in when you're dealing with Open4 and putting in car packs and stuff like that. This stuff is pretty basic, but I understand it can be difficult too for somebody that's never done it before, so that's why I'm making this. Okay, so now there's no README for this file. But based off of everything else we're doing, we can see that there's a plugins folder, there's an LSPDFR folder, and there's a rage. So I'm actually going to update the rage since I've put a bunch of different things into the game, and we're just going to pull these over into the main root file. Let that replace the rage, and then that'll go in there. And we'll go in and we'll check regular callouts. We'll open this one. Okay, so they're all turned on. So that's good. They typically are too, as far as a lot of these go. I just like to double check everything. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Super callouts. Does he have the list here? Yeah, you can get SWAT-related callouts. Armed mafia members, the casino, armed mafias in Sandy Shores, gang members involved in a police officer murder, sheriff under attack by a biker gang. You'll get report of stolen supercar, vehicle belonging to a kidnapper, someone at gunpoint, car accident, and you can read on and look at all of these. I'm not going to read them all to you guys. You guys don't need that. So let's go ahead and let's down this one. And as you guys notice, every single time we go to one of these pages, it starts a countdown of 5 seconds. So you just have to sit there on that page for 5 seconds before it'll start to download. Okay, super callouts. He's got the README, so super callouts DLL and ini inside of plugins LSPDFR. Rage, we just updated Rage. You can do it again if you'd like. It's never a bad idea to keep updating Rage. So we're going to move the plugins, LSPDFR, plugins, LSPDFR, super callouts, and we're going to open the ini. And true for all of them means they're all on. We're good. And again, I keep backing out to my main root file, and I keep hitting the refresh button up there, just to make sure that everything sticks. All right, so what do we got here? Super events. Super events is just, again, it's like the super callouts. You're going to have a bunch of crazy stuff going on. So you have car accidents, car fires, reckless drivers, officer under fire, people fighting, suspicious vehicles. It's a fun one, especially you get some big fires like they have here in the picture here. You'll get car fires and stuff, and as soon as you pull up, the car will explode, so don't pull up too close or you'll die too. Oh, too far. Here we go. The Readme. Again, the DLL, the ini, into the plugins LSPDFR file. Plugins LSPDFR. Drag these over. Open up my ini. True for all of them. We're good to go. And as you can see, we're doing a lot. We're putting a lot of mods into this game. I know people that play this game with a lot less mods and have a great time playing it. I know people that play it with a ton of mods, and they do awesome too. You just have to be careful, because the more mods you put into the game, the more opportunities there are to make a mistake and not know where your mistake is. So I'm actually being pretty reckless at this point, because I'm installing so many of these mods all at once and not actually going into the game to test them to make sure everything's working correctly and doing a backup. That's how I got myself into trouble last time. It'll probably happen again, just being honest. Alright, so you get traffic stop backup, speed traps, towed vehicle disturbance, stolen vehicles, trespassing, a taxi. Citizen in distress is fun because you never know where that one's going. Welfare checks, 911 hang-ups, silent alarms. So we'll go ahead and we'll download this one. And here we are, LSPDFR plugins, no Readme. When they look like this, just drag them. There it is there. Typical callouts, true for everything. And then if you look here, these numbers, if you read through all of this, they're going to have different things as far as frequency that you're going to get these type of calls. Some of them are going to be done by distances. Some of them are going to be by the cars. Partner car models. All right, we're good there. On to the next one. We're almost done, guys. This is Callout Manager. I really like Callout Manager because all of these callouts that we just did, typical callouts, super callouts, regular callouts, code 3, assorted. With the Callout Manager, I can actually open it up and request a specific type of call. So when I get in, I start doing my lives and stuff like that. If things are getting slow and my YouTube page here grows and we start getting more followers and stuff, you guys will be able to come into the chat and request what type of calls we go on. And the pursuits are always fun. Alright, so we got the Readme. Installation is the DLL and ini inside of plugins LSPDFR. Same as everything else. So plugins, LSPDFR over here already. Let's open the ini. I do not want to open it with F12. I want to open it with J. And then because I changed that, I have to save it. Back out over here, we'll refresh. And this is the last one that I have up there for you guys so far today. And this is going to be the foot pursuit aid, because if you've ever gotten into a foot pursuit in the LSPDFR, it's damn near impossible to catch these dudes. So what this does is this adds every 3 seconds the ability to sprint to get a little bit extra speed. I know there are some other ones out there that allow you to run super fast all the time. I don't like that because it's not as realistic. I like to try and keep this game as realistic as possible, so I use this one. So it'll be a good run with a nice little burst of a sprint put in there. Okay. Documentation, Readme. Any files where you can change things. So we're going to do the DLL and the ini into the plugins folder. And then Albo into the GTA. Okay, so we'll do Albo first. And then those should be right there. Yep, so we can just copy and paste these into the root file. Replace. We can go plugins. Foot Pursuit Aid. I'm going to open that up because I use the right shoulder. That's right, I do. I use the right shoulder on my Xbox controller. Your cooldown is set at 3 seconds, so you can only do it every 3 seconds. And that works. File save. And we'll back out of here. And all right, guys, that's all I have for those 15 mods that we just put in on this video. If you have any questions, please drop a comment, message me. Happy to help you guys with whatever I can. Please refer back to this if you guys are having any issues. A lot of them got installed the exact same way. But again, let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys. So please go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. Click that bell so that way you guys can see when I start playing this game live, so that way you guys can watch it. And again, I'm happy to share this community with you guys, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Have a great day.